Hey, first and second graders, Mr. Michael here with your new remote lesson for the week. So what we're going to learn about, my friends, today is something called silhouettes. And a silhouette is just the shadow, the dark outline of something, all right? You don't see any of the details or anything, all right? So let's look at what we're going to make this week. It's going to have a lot of silhouettes in it. So if you look at here, all right, we're going to make this cool haunted house scene. And the darkened in areas where it's just black, those are what we call the silhouettes, all right? If we look at the tree, you just see the outline, the shadow of the tree, all right? None of the details. Same thing with like the birds and stuff on it, the little bats I drew in there, the hill that the haunted house is on, the fences, the old beat up fences in the cemetery here, and like the headstones. You don't see any of the details. It's just the darkened shadow, just the outline, no details at all. All right? Look like fun? They're pretty easy and they can turn out really cool. You ready? Let's go. All right, my friends. So again, here's our finished picture with the silhouettes. Now, like I said, it's just kind of that dark shadow, that dark outline of something. No details at all. So again, the hill, like the stuff going on here in the cemetery, the tree, the bats, the moon there, all right? You don't see anything, any details, just the dark shadow. Here's how we get that. You can do this on white paper, or if you've got some color paper, especially orange, since it's Halloween, that would be perfect. Or what you could do is you could maybe go in and draw it all on white paper and then go back and maybe color in the areas with like one color or something like that. Like again, since it's Halloween, maybe like orange, but I bet like red or some kind of like purple or something might look really cool too. All right. But what I've done is, if you look at my picture here, I've done it mine all in marker first, just so you could see it better here in the camera. What you need to do is do your drawing with pencil first. All right. I did marker, like a lining marker, but you guys please do this all with a pencil first, all right? And what I started with was I just kind of drew this kind of rolling hill for everything to sit on. So I just did that first, just the hill, all right? Then I went in over here and drew in my haunted house, like a two-story haunted house. And if you look, like I made the lines kind of wavy and stuff just to kind of show that it's, you know, it's kind of old and maybe falling apart. And like in the windows, the little parts in the window pane, I kind of bent them up a little bit so they look old. All right. And I put like part of the roof here, and then I did these little, we call them scallops. All right. I did those just to kind of show the shingles. All right, the old beat up shingles on the roof. And then like the second story right there, and then another part of like roof shingles and stuff there. Then a little point on the top, and I made it look kind of like bent, you know, like it's all old and falling apart. Maybe yours is kind of sticking up, you know, straight. I don't know. It's up to you. And like a little chimney here, all kind of bent up and stuff like we've seen in the cartoons before. And again, some more shingles and stuff on little parts there. All right. And my windows, like a big window, and I put like a little outline of a jack-o'-lantern there. My little two doors right there to get in. Then I went in, drew like some beat up stairs, drew in like some old, like a picket fence, but it's kind of like beat up and falling apart, and some headstones like in the little cemetery there. And then my tree. All right, I wanted that, like this was going to be the main part, but the next main part was going to be the tree. All right, so I kind of started with the trunk, and then I added the branches. And it's not going to matter, like if you look at mine, you don't see like my little lines and stuff that I had that attached them to the trunk, to the branches to the trunk, because I did mine with a marker. But yours, it's not really going to matter if we see all these lines and stuff here that we normally would erase. We're going to wind up coloring over that anyway. All right, so kind of make this just cool outline of like a craggy old beat up tree. All right, and then if you want, I did a couple of like little blackbirds or something hanging out on the branches. Drew in some bats. All right, that's the way I kind of draw, like little cartoony bats. All my years of watching Batman cartoons and reading Batman comics, that's kind of how they show them. All right, so I kind of drew mine that way. These little like tufts of like grass overgrowing and stuff. All right, you could do those if you want. Just put a few in there. And then I outlined like the moon. I drew my moon here. All right, yours can be rounder. It can be kind of more squared off like mine. Doesn't matter. It's up to you. And then for stars, I know, like stars are going to be bright, but in this picture for us, they're going to be kind of dark. So I did these little, like a plus line, and then I put like an X over it. So like a plus and then an X, just to make those kind of like stars there. Okay? And then, once everything was outlined, I went back, and if we look at my haunted house, you can see kind of like the difference here. Kind of want to show off those shingles, so if this was really a silhouette, like it was silhouetted haunted house, those might get covered up, but I think it looks kind of cool to have them there. All right, so I didn't color those in, but I colored almost everything else in black. All right, except for my windows. All right, came here and colored in my little jack-o'-lantern, like around the door, that part there, the chimney. All right, and then you can see how I colored in my bats. All right, let's put it this way now. We can kind of compare. All right, colored in the hill, the stairs, the fence, the gravestones, and then of course colored in the tree there as well. All right, now guys, and the birds, when you do this, it's going to be super important no matter what you use. If you use a black marker like I did here, or a black colored pencil, or a black crayon, or just your pencil. All right, however you color these up, the dark areas, you got to pick that one color that's got to be black. Okay, but however you color these up, guys, you've got to make sure you get all of it covered up. All right, what I mean is like this area here, I'm not just going to kind of scribble it in, because then there's going to be a lot of orange left behind there, and that's going to ruin the effect. It's not going to work. I've got to go in and color all of it. Same thing like with the bat. I've got to go in and I've got to color every little bit of it. My hill, all right, I've got to go in, I've got to color every little part. You don't see any orange shining through there. All right, my tree, every part is colored in. That's how these work. That's how these are going to look really good, is if you color everything in nicely. All right, not just scribbled in quickly or just kind of colored in lightly. Got to push kind of hard with whatever you're coloring with, especially if it's a pencil or a crayon, all right, or a color pencil. Marker, you can kind of get away with not pushing too hard because it's going to fill in pretty good. All right, but still, no matter what you color with, those areas that you want to be dark and silhouetted in, you got to make sure it's solidly colored, all right, and not just quick, okay? And then sometimes, guys, before we go here, I hear some folks saying like, well, the moon's not dark, okay? If we look up at the night sky, it's going to be bright, it's going to be light, kind of like, say, in this part here before I colored it in. All right, sorry there, guys, didn't see that. But there's our dark moon here, all right, and then the light moon. Guys, this is just to kind of help with the picture and make it look kind of cool. Yeah, in real life, the moon might look a little more like that, where it's brighter. But for our picture, just to kind of help it look kind of cool, we're going to make it dark, all right? And remember, silhouettes, just the shadow and the dark outline of things. That's what we're focusing on today, all right? Those cool things called silhouettes. All right, guys, I hope you had fun with that. That's when I just, in all my years of teaching art, I'd never thought of doing that before, because I used to teach silhouettes different ways. And then I saw that one come up a couple of years ago, and I was like, yeah, that's a really fun, cool way to learn how to do silhouettes. Combine it with this creepy time of year. All right, my friends. And what's kind of cool is, whether you're at home, all right, or whether you're at school, we're all going to do that same lesson. So you're not going to be missing out if I don't get to see you at school this week. We're all doing the same thing. All right, guys. So I hope you have fun with that. And for those of you who I will see on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, whenever I see you, awesome. And for those who, it'll be another week or so before I see you, no worries. We're still going to have lots of fun. And I can't wait to see you back in Shepherdson. All right, my friends. You guys take care. We'll talk to you soon. Adios, amigos.